All right, so welcome back to another Clear Mud live stream. Thanks for your patience there. I lost track of time recording some videos and I had to finish something and got it all out really quickly. Let's make sure we're live. Mud live stream. Voila, we are live. And chat should be live. I guess I'll figure that out in a moment. And yeah, today's all about launching this tool. We are so close. I made sure to leave one account completely unused. That way we should be able to get through it. So let's go ahead and close out of this. And we're just gonna hit continue. I don't know anybody watching if you've been playing with Clawdbot. I've been playing it with it for the better part of 2 weeks. I first installed it 2 weeks ago. And then slept on it and then started using it again. And over the past week or so, I've really been testing it and applying it to different use cases. And tomorrow we have a video going live where I teach you how to set it up. But it's unique because we're not setting it up on a Mac Mini. We're not setting it up on VPS hosting. We're actually setting it up on a virtual machine on your system. Right? I haven't seen a video covering this approach yet. So, and I think it's really unique. You don't have to spend any money, just a little bit of time to see if you want to make that investment, right? I do have a server back in California that I'm just essentially going to clear out, and I'm going to run Ubuntu instances with multiple Clawdbot servers, or I guess now it's Moltbot. But I'm very excited for that. I'll be setting up some demos and tutorials on how to set it up via Ubuntu Server, but that's not going to happen until I get back stateside. So I'm very excited for that video going live tomorrow. Hey, what's up, DB? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Yeah. So on Friday, actually, we're going live with this today. I think on Wednesdays, I'll focus on this tool. I'm going to set up a Moltbot specifically for LLMO, for all of the LLMO tools that we're going to launch. And it's going to manage, it's going to create new features or update features. I'm not going to make it autonomous to the point where it's going to break things, right? But I want to have one Moltbot instance just for this tool so it can do my social posts. It can do anything I want it to do, right? Oh yeah, what's your issues? Because I'm curious. I'd love to help. I'm here to help. You know, I personally have only been using it locally. I've installed it via VMware Fusion as well as VirtualBox. I'm doing the demo on VirtualBox because VirtualBox is open source. There's no subscription wall where you have to sign up, accept terms to download the software, right? VMware Fusion was acquired by Broadcom. And ever since then, it's like to download the free version, you have to go through so many steps. It's really, really annoying and tedious. And I'm not making a video on that yet. But I will admit, I prefer using it on VMware Fusion over VirtualBox. It's smoother for me. Right? But VirtualBox, it works and it's easy to set up. All right, let's continue along here. Let me open up WhisperFlow. So I think I now know the issue here is we're giving the user access to the subscription via Supabase, but it's not creating the user in Stripe. And that's why we're unable to downgrade the account. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Am I just going to trust that it works and just push it? Oh my God. I might as well just do that. Like, I tested this thing so much in staging, like pushing to production. It should work in theory. I guess I can try. Let me see if I can fake a customer. Well, I guess Interesting. We have customer for professional, but not for... Huh. Let me sign in with professional and try to downgrade that one, even though it says there's no subscriptions. I guess I can manually add the subscription. Bills immediately, but customer's location is recognized. Yeah, so I have to set up all the billing. So this is tough to test without paying. Account now found. That's not right. Account not found. It's not like they paused our account. We should be fine. Oh, there's a technical issue, so it might have some issues fetching right now. Let's go check the status page. I guess I am using the EU West server right now because I am here. Okay. All right, so that must be it. Well, let's talk to Claude really quickly to see. Let's open up Whisperflow. Okay. All right, I think I know the issue. So we are manually applying the subscriptions to the user in Supabase, but that doesn't apply to Stripe. Is there a way to manually override Stripe to add a subscription to a customer ID? If not, I'm going to have to trust that all of the testing that we did in the sandboxed environment and the staging environment works, right? So I guess we should just launch, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as far as what we can do to override that and apply a subscription without actually having to have that user pay, since we're just testing with our own email addresses. All right, we're going to ask Claude there. Let's go back to chat. Okay. Interesting. So with the VPS, you have your own virtual terminal, like console that you're logging into, right? Out of curiosity, what OS is that VPS hosting using? Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, so I found issues with Telegram as well. I've nailed the process now to make sure it's working back and forth. And yeah, if you give me a little bit more context as to like where it broke, or I guess you never really got it working fully, right? So I'll give you a little sneak peek of mine, or one of them at least, in a second. Let me just go through this process. No, I've already used Stripe test mode though. I've already done this. I've already used test mode. We pushed to production because we're ready for this soft launch. So couldn't we, in theory, I mean, the free version, doesn't that apply a subscription, like a free subscription? Well, we can't downgrade. Never mind. Man, I might have to just pay out of my pocket on a credit card to test this. I'm just thinking aloud to Claude right now. What's cool about, in my opinion, right? Like, yes, ideally, I'd love it running 24/7, but this MacBook Pro isn't on 24/7. But I'm only ever using it, right? Like, I use it all day, pretty much. So whenever I close the lid, all I do, the cool thing about this method in this video I'm dropping tomorrow is Setting it up locally rather than a VPS hosting is you don't need to spend any money. I know it's 5, 10, 20 bucks, whatever platform you use, it's cheap, right? But it's free when you take this route. And you don't have to leave it on 24/7, but you also don't have to shut it down. All you do is hit pause and it pauses the virtual machine state. And then once, let's say it's paused and you're on Telegram and you're sending messages, you're not going to get any responses, right? But as soon as you resume the state, resume the virtual machine, all of those messages go through and then it continues, right? Based off of your messages. It's pretty nifty, right? It's pretty cool. I like it. It works for me for now until I get one set up on my server rack back in California. Whereas I'm going to be testing Ubuntu Server deployments quite a bit, and I'll make some videos about it as well, because I believe that's going to be the most efficient way. But the demo for tomorrow, we install Ubuntu Desktop, right? So it's a friendly GUI, graphic user interface for people to kind of use. It's like a computer within a computer, essentially, right? VMware Fusion. Okay, I just set up Muddy Social. Remind me later. And I'm going to start this one here. And we're going to be playing with this one specifically on Friday quite a bit. All right, so it's renewed, right? I don't need to restart the gateway. I don't need to do anything, right? I just minimize or X out, right? And it's running in the background, right? So VMware Fusion, I see Muddy Social running. Now, when I go into my Telegram, right, it's been paused overnight. I haven't used it yet today. So I'm setting up this new instance where it's specifically with one goal in mind. It's a social kind of like media manager. It's going to incorporate some past tools that I've built where it's gonna, on scheduled cron jobs, right? It's going to, on Wednesday and Friday, it's gonna look at the previous day's YouTube long form. It's gonna download the transcript. It's gonna analyze the voice, the tone, and then it's gonna create a very valuable piece of content or multiple pieces of content. Right now it's just one. And then it's gonna automatically post for me. Right now I haven't set up the automation with the browser relay for it to control the browser within the virtual environment, right? That's step 2. But look at this. I mean, it's already done it. Your post is ready. I cloned Google Keep with 2 screenshots. This is off of yesterday's video, which, by the way, yesterday I really wanted to launch the demo on how to set up this. I don't know about you, man, but I hate this new name, Molt. Feel like it just doesn't. I liked Clawdbot. I understand why they changed the name. I understand Anthropic reached out. I had a feeling, like I was kind of curious about that and had a feeling that would happen. But Moltbot just doesn't roll off the tongue the same way, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's got one goal in mind: get my LinkedIn upwards of 75,000 followers. Right? I really want to start focusing on LinkedIn content. Yeah, it doesn't feel the same. I feel you. And what Muddy Social's sole job is to do is to help me automate that process. It's going to be posting for me. It's going to be interacting for me. It's going to be, on a weekly basis. It's going to have jobs each day that it's going to have to do, right? And slowly I'm going to automate that entire process where all I have to do is just kind of go look in and just start replying randomly to other people if I want to become a reply guy. Yeah, no issues with security. So the beauty of doing it this way as well is we're not opening up any ports to the outside world when you're setting it up on a local VM, right? When you're using VPS hosting, in order to access it, right, you generally need to set up access so you can tunnel in. And a lot of the issues and a lot of the criticism right now of the public to the creator is he didn't think ahead to that. And like I don't I agree with the creator. Like, it's crazy. He built something so useful for free and he's getting so much flack for it, right? And he doesn't make any money from it. So I understand that. But, you know, VPS hosting, if you set it up correctly, and forgive me, a little pop-up there, a little chat. If you set it up correctly, yes, it's very secure. But you do need to open things up so that you can tunnel in and access it. Doing it this route, you don't have to worry about that. Which is really cool. I guess what the main negative is it's truly not 24/7, unless of course you leave the VM running 24/7 and you leave your computer on 24/7. Then, you know, I guess it is a 24/7 agent. And I haven't tested other models yet. I do want to test that new Kimi 2.5 on it, but I'm going to wait until I have my server set up back in California where I actually have a dedicated, you know, I like the name Muddy. So I must have installed this thing like 20 times already. I've tested on WhatsApp. I've tested on Signal. So far, Telegram's my favorite. It's just easier to set up. WhatsApp was pretty easy too, but I'm essentially just going to create variations of Muddy. Muddy's going to be like the root executive assistant, and then Muddy social, Muddy this, Muddy that. That's going to be my approach. But yeah, let me post this really quickly. Come on, Superbase. Wow. Oh, did I? I must have saved this. Save as draft. I just want to post a new one. What's going on here? Home. Do I have to post that one? I've never ran into this before. What? I can't just post? I have to post the draft? That's kind of annoying. That is really annoying. So let me just save that in a Google Keep here. Yeah, and I'll eventually work on videos for VPS hosting as well. I don't think I'll ever do a Mac Mini buy because I have that server rack. I have, I want to say it's like a 16-core CPU, 128 gigs of RAM that I can disperse. So I can make a lot of Clawdbot VMs there. So I don't see the need for me to do a Mac Mini video. I'll never buy one. But yeah, I'll work on a VPS one probably before I leave Europe, you know, since I have some downtime here. But I really want to hammer this VM instance for beginners, for people who want to save money and not spend anything up front, to really see if it's something they want to utilize. Then, you know, then they can upgrade to a dedicated VPS hosting. Yeah, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. Ooh, okay, let me. Oh, that was its response. Let's. Okay, cool. I like it. All right, let's go back to the task at hand. Oh, interesting. Awesome. Why didn't I think of that? Dashboard products, coupons. Products, coupons, create coupon. Soft launch, 100, apply to specific products, business, duration once. Great. Create coupon. So the ID should just be soft launch, right? Yeah. Okay. Sign in. Oh, now with Supabase, am I even going to be able to sign in? I don't like this. Business. Yeah, there's clearly an account. What are you talking about? Account not found. Come on now. Come on now. That's a bummer. I hate this. I hate how I'm so close. I'm ready, but it's not allowing me to launch. Okay. Guess I could just launch it and just YOLO it. One thing I haven't done yet is create the demo. Shoot, I was supposed to do that over the weekend, but I got consumed. I don't know about you, but I got consumed with testing and playing with Clawdbot. That my sleep schedule's been all messed up. Let me see if I can bypass that and just run an audit. This way. All right. Copy link address. Let's paste that in there. Oh, wow. Okay. So I can't log in through the login feature, but I can just run a fresh audit and it logs me in. Great. Great, 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 great. Okay. Give me SQL inject to remove business sub from business at hospitalityllmo.com so I can upgrade manually in the dashboard, please. Okay. I could do that manually, but you know, let's let Claude work for us. Honestly, like learn what? The setup side? I've just been thinking, right? I have a thought and I'm like, can this do this? And I just try. And a lot of it's trial and error. I've spent a lot of countless hours beating my head against the screen, figuratively speaking, of like not, you know, things not working properly. Alex Finn, he's a great source right now. I know he's spending pretty much all of his time on Clawdbot content and Clawdbot creation. But I'm also like looking at past projects that I've built. And I'm like, wow, could I give Clawdbot access to that project and have it automate it even further, right? Have it autonomously run on a scheduled, you know, frequency to like every Tuesday, generate 2 new scripts based off of the most talked about topics on X or LinkedIn. Like it works. I have created setting it up the way that I set it up is I have a shared folder on my desktop that I give access to Clawdbot. And I just drag in a project that I built in Claude Code. And I say, hey, go check out this share, check out this folder. I'd like you to incorporate this into your logic. And I'd like you to run this every Tuesday, right? So you start to think of like, okay, what have I built in Claude Code? What have I built locally? You can feed it to Claude. You can automate it. You can improve on it. Right now, maybe I'll do this Friday instead of the social. But for my main Muddy bot, what I want to do, where I left off last, is I want to combine all of the tools I've built for this channel, right? The content ops, which used to be called ClearMudOS, which writes YouTube scripts primarily. And then it summarizes and timestamps live streams based off of the / commands. And then combine that with a YouTube ideation app that I built. And then combine it also with the Repurpose OS, which is now called Video to Social, where you paste in a long form YouTube URL, it downloads the transcript, analyzes your tone, voice, et cetera, and then it gives you copy. And then it generates images through Nano Banana Pro. I'm going to have Muddy do that for me. I'm going to feed it all of the source folders of each individual thing that I've built. And I'm going to say, build one that combines the best of all of this into one, right? And it does a great job, like, with all of the tests I've given it so far. So I really want to start to automate I'm essentially trying to X out my Mondays, right? My Mondays currently are ideation. And I spend even though I have these tools that automate a lot of the process, I still spend most of the day using the tools, right? I want Clawdbot to essentially do that for me. So I only have to spend an hour reviewing things, or less than an hour reviewing things on Monday. So I essentially have Monday and Friday off to work on other things, which I really just want to free up for client work, because I do plan on, signing another client and another client. So, but I don't want it to take away from this channel. So my main focus, like moving forward, is I'm trying to condense my week to where Tuesday is part ideation, but then film. Wednesday is edit, fine tune. Thursday is finishing touches on the edits, schedule the posts. Now, eventually I want a Clawdbot to schedule the posts for me because it's very tedious with how I do things right now. But I essentially want to condense my week for this channel to 3 days of just, 12-hour days, rather than doing a Monday through Friday, which I'm currently doing, right? So I'm going to be building out multiple Clawdbots, or Muddy bots is what I'm calling them. That's going to help me accomplish that. No, man. I feel the same way sometimes too, but any day you spend learning and testing and trying to get something to work, I don't think that's time wasted, right? You're learning, That's just my perspective though. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I look forward to having him on the channel. Look forward to collaborating down the road, I'm not sure if he would pay attention to such a small channel right now, but I think all in due time, Yes. So this is also why, I personally, I first started testing Clawdbot on my machine, but then I realized I don't want to give it access to my machine. So I uninstalled it, revoked all the access immediately. Like within an hour, I realized that it was going to be a bad idea. But that's why I like creating these separate instances, right? Muddy social, Muddy parent, Muddy this, Muddy that, is I give it access to what I want it to have access to. And that's it, right? It's a brilliant idea for sure. Yeah, I agree with that one. Because while this stuff's fun and game changing, it's like we haven't seen the use case where it just goes AWOL on somebody. And maybe somebody said it's okay to go AWOL, right? I think it has like a dark soul mode, if I'm not mistaken, where it gets a bit mischievous. I haven't tested that yet personally, but maybe I'll create a Muddy Dark Soul instance and test that down the road. All right, verify it's gone. So first, find user. Okay, I'll go back to that in a second. SQL edit. Create new. Run. All right. Delete subscription record. New snippet. Run this query. Oh wait, maybe yep, I didn't copy everything. I didn't close that out. Run again. There we go. All good. Let's verify. No. Okay. So now if I go in here, profile dashboard, Explorer free, right? If I try to view, things should be blocked. Yep, it's blocked. Okay, great. So now I'm going to go into, profile upgrade, business. Perfect. Add promotional code. What did I call it? Brain fart. Soft launch. Soft launch. Code is invalid. Why is it saying December 27th? Oh, that's when I must have created that product. Billing period, monthly. Wait. I don't want to adjust that. X. Huh. I must have created that incorrectly. Let's just delete it. Start from scratch here really quickly. Hey, thank you, thank you. Right? I mean, yeah, Muddy could work. I get his character. I originally, when I read Molt and I started creating demos, I was doing Mort, like Rick and Morty. But it took me like a few creations to realize I had it wrong. It's just, Moltbot, I think, would have even been better. But hey, you know, he had to act quick. And I still find it useful. I'm not going to dog on it because of the name. Soft launch 10. Percentage off 1,000 or 100. Duration forever. Okay. I'm not going to apply to specific products. I just want to try to create soft launch 10. Interesting. Hey, help me figure this out really quickly. I'm creating the coupon as instructed, but when I try to check out, it doesn't recognize the coupon code. What could be causing this? Yeah, I do actually have an idea. I don't know if Muddy would be the name, but in theory, right? Like Clawdbot or Moltbot is open source. So you can fork that repo and white label it, right? Create your own brand that utilizes that dashboard, and then sell that as a service, right? To a certain industry, and then, market the setup and the dashboard free, but the hosting not free, but the hosting can be combined with a retainer-based fee that allows you to manage it, right? And then you can tier that up, right? There's definitely some opportunities to create your own business around the bot. The question I have is like, how long until Anthropic creates their own, right? How long until OpenAI creates their own version of it, right? I love the fact that it's free. I hope it remains free. But I hope that whenever one of these kind of like legacy LLMs or what's the better term? I guess frontier LLMs, once they create their own bot dashboard, similar approach, I hope they don't charge. And if they charge, then just keep using Moltbot, right? But that's a curiosity I have is like, also Anthropic reached out to him because of a copyright issue, right? Change your name. I'm shocked they didn't offer to buy him out. Like, just buy the man out, pay him. He built something really, really cool that you're going to copy anyway. But that's the thing about open source is a lot of these big corporations, they can just copy it themselves and repurpose it. Yeah. I didn't watch that yet. I saw that on my timeline. I need to watch that. Heck, I might even watch it right now on the stream if you don't mind, in the background. Let's see, Moltbot. Come on, it should come up quickly, right? I guess I have to type in his name. I don't know how to spell his last name though. Peter Steinberg? Is it Steinberger? No, I'll just go to X. Oh, it is Steinberger. There it is.
From Moltbot.
Man of the hour.
How are you doing? Thank you so much for staying up late. What time is it for you?
It's 11.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
PM for everybody that's just
Yes,
tuning
11 p.m.
11 p.m.
So I'd love to kick it off with just a brief background on when you started this project, a little bit of your career, how you're thinking about it going forward, and then I have a million questions.
This was your very first project ever, right?
Yeah. First time coding, right?
No, we were enjoying a screenshot of your GitHub profile earlier, just seeing like how many different things.
An overnight success.
A true overnight success.
Yes.
But we're super excited to have you here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Awesome.
I guess
Yeah,
there
I'm
was an
excited to be
issue
here as
with
well.
the install. So
Yeah, I don't know. I worked for my own software company for 13 years. And then
that's how it
sold
works.
it
That's how it
4 years
works.
ago. Then I was completely burned out.
But I have a feeling if they release their own, like,
I mean,
it's not going to be
but still,
completely
it's like
free
chicken
like this.
hookers.
I just don't. I don't see them doing that, right? I could be wrong.
Well,
I don't really
we're
know.
glad you're
Nobody
back in the
really
game.
knows, but
Yeah, you know what
I
they
think
say, like
I think the
4
hype will
years,
die down
like
around
1 year
it,
break,
but
and
I
then,
think
like,
we're going to really
13
see
years non-stop, so like 3 years,
businesses
the mouse
created
kinda checks
from
out.
it, right, in the coming
And then
months.
This year, no.
I think
last
people are
year,
going to find a way to
2016,
utilize it to its max potential, for sure.
in April.
And I fully
some
intend on
point
being one of those.
My spark was back.
Yeah.
Because before I was sitting on my computer, and I don't know if you've seen Austin Powers, but it felt like someone sucked my mojo out.
Just what he said
So yeah,
right there.
I had time to recover. I came back in
Let's
April.
make this a little bigger.
And I wanted to do something new. My background was like a lot of Apple and iOS, and I'm a little bit fed up. I wanted to build web stuff, and I didn't have the experience. I didn't want to feel like an idiot, so I looked into AI, and it was good. It was not great, but it was good. And I was like,
so
why
it's
is nobody talking
live,
about it?
so
You know?
let me go
And I feel
back.
like because I missed those 3 years where it was really
Do a
bad.
refresh.
And I came back just at the time that like Claude Code was released, February in beta?
Yeah.
So this was my first experience. I was like,
Business.
this is pretty awesome. And then I couldn't sleep anymore. Like I literally had trouble. I had trouble going to bed. You know, like we had like addiction before, and then like we had addiction again.
But a positive one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say so. And I hooked up a lot of my friends for looking into AI as well, and they had the same problem. And I texted them at like 4 a.m. and they replied. I even started a meetup. That's where I come from. I called it Claude Code Anonymous. Now it's called Agents Anonymous because you have to go with the times.
Sure.
And yeah, ever since then that's what I say on my profile. I came back from retirement.
I could tell by his
AI,
accent why he thought
and
Moltbot was a
I'm
good
doing loads of
idea.
I love it.
I understand now
Maybe
why he
walk us
chose
through
the
some of
name.
the
I
other
get
stuff
it.
that
I
you
get it.
shipped and-
I
and
thought he
worked
was an
on
English.
prior
I
to
thought he was
this
an American.
and even just kind of like
I don't know why I
your
thought that maybe
mindset
because of the
working
name,
on these different
but clearly
projects.
he's German,
I'm
right?
assuming
Steinberger. I think that's
at
a
different
German name.
points you would think that
And
some
the
would
accent
get more
sounds
traction
a
than
bit
others,
German.
but it would probably be impossible to have predicted in some ways that this would have gone from almost to the point.
Good
the
point.
reason
And
that
like
it's so
as customizable
wild
as
is I'm
this
seeing
one
people on
is,
Instagram
right?
that like I
Very
don't
good
think
point.
of as people that like follow tech at all, and they're at the Apple store getting a Mac Mini. So it feels like it just went almost, it broke containment like incredibly quickly, and you see the GitHub stars are like, actually I've never seen a chart like this.
Just straight up line.
Everybody loves to show their
Honestly-
charts, but the chart is actually unbelievable. It's just a line going straight up.
I need to talk to someone at GitHub because I don't think there's been a project before that's been like straight. It is batshit insane.
Yeah.
Try it this way because
I mean, honestly,
it's telling me to go
my
back
main mantra is
into-
I want to have fun. You know, like the best way to learn these new technologies if you have fun with it. You have to play with it. So I build little things that I think could be useful. I tried different languages. I tried different approaches. It's agentic engineering. I don't like the word vibe coding so much. I always make the joke. I do agentic engineering, and then when it starts hitting 3 a.m., I switch to vibe coding, and then next day I have regrets.
Yeah.
You should have just gone to sleep, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's hard. but then I just built little things. I had this idea about personal agents in May already, and I tried. It was like the time that GPT-4.1 was out, and it was just not good enough. And then I thought, well, all the big companies will build this in the next few months anyhow. So I was like, why the F should I do that? You know, I was just gonna wait and they make it better.
Yeah.
And then I built out, and I built a lot of stuff. There's like one project that is still unfinished that I at some point want to finish. And I built a lot of CLIs because that's where agents are really good. You know, you have to close the loop. That's always the secret. You have to build it so that the agent has the best possible way to build software. And that's the secret a little bit. I tried a lot of stuff, and then in November, I looked, and still there was nothing. Like, where is my fucking agent?
Yeah.
I had a little project in.
All right, nice, that
May
worked. So let me actually enter
it
in card information. Do I have a wallet
I
nearby?
did a hackathon with two friends, and we were like, what can we build that could be kind of cool? Wouldn't it be cool if I could use Claude Code from my phone?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's something that everybody builds. I see this like every day.
Of course,
like,
it was
by
behind
now,
my
I almost
monitor.
feel like this is like one step in your journey in becoming a good agentic engineer is you're gonna build some shitty orchestration tool for yourself because
bridge.
it's fun and you think, yeah.
Bridge.
And I built that for 2 months, and then I had to stop
I'm not
because it became
exposing
so
this.
good that I was up with my friends, but literally with my phone, like using Claude Code to like work on this thing, and it's like, oh, this is bad for my mental health.
Yeah.
It's already bad, and now like I'm literally building something to have better access to my drugs.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people using Claude Code on laptops as they get off of airplanes because they're so locked in, they just have to send one more. And that's like the clearest sign that like you need a bridge and a phone involved.
Yeah, no, but also like, you know, like this feeling when your agent's not running. Like right now there's like 2 terminals that he could be building something, right? So,
Yeah.
So if you're in this addiction mode, you almost feel like.
If you need to step out for 10 seconds and fire off,
Feel free to take a break. We can do
All right.
an ad read.
Nice.
Oh,
That worked.
Okay.
There's
Now,
still some drama
billing.
that I'm finishing. But anyhow,
I upgraded, but it still shows.
so in November,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I wake up every day, I'm like, okay, what do I want to work on now? What would be cool? And then there was like, okay, I want to
Interesting.
chat with my computer on WhatsApp because if my agents are not running, if they're running, and then I go to the kitchen, I want to check up on them, or like I want to like do little prompts.
Yeah.
So I just hacked
Interesting.
together some WhatsApp integration that literally receives a message, calls Claude Code, and then returns what Claude Code returns, one shot.
Yeah.
And it took like 1 hour, and it worked.
All right,
I was like,
so
well, okay, that's
I
kinda
was
cool.
able to do that with a customer-facing coupon.
I usually use prompts.
I
real
you know,
text
I
and
signed
images,
up.
'cause images are like,
It succeeded. It
they
put me
often
back to
give
the
you so
dashboard,
much
but that account
context,
is
and you don't
still
have
on
to
the
type so
Explorer
much.
free account. So there
I feel
must
like
be
this is
some
like
type
one
of
the hacks
disconnect
where you can
between
prompt faster, just like make a screenshot.
Stripe
But
Checkout and
agents are really good
Supabase.
at
Can you
figuring out
please
what
look
you
into
want.
this?
So I hacked together images.
And then I'm going to put
And
Ultra
then
Think
I-
so that
I
it
was on a
really
trip in
goes
Marrakesh
through the.
with
Oh, Ultra Think no longer does anything?
And I found myself using this like way more than I.
I'm glad I didn't
thought,
make
but
that
not
video
for-
yet.
not
I'm
for
working on a
programming. It's
video
more
of like
hey,
Claude
man,
Code
like,
tips
like
and tricks, and
restaurants,
Ultra Think is one of them, but
because it had Google
not
in it,
anymore.
and it could figure out stuff. And it's like, especially when you're on the go, it's like super useful. And then I wasn't thinking. I was just sending it a voice message, you know. But I didn't build that. There was no support for voice messages in there. So the reading indicator came, and I'm like, oh, I'm really curious what's happening now. And then after 10 seconds, my agent replied as if nothing happened. I'm like, how the F did you do that? And it replied, yeah, you sent me a message, but there was only a link to a file with no file ending. So I looked at the file header. I found out that it's Opus, so I used FFmpeg on your Mac to convert it to Wave. And then I wanted to use Whisper, but didn't have it installed, and there was an install error. But then I looked around and found the OpenAI key in your environment, so I sent it via curl to OpenAI, got the translation back, and then I responded. And that was like the moment where like,
Wow. Yeah.
you know, it's like, that's where it clicked. These things are like, damn, smart, resourceful beasts if you actually give them the power.
Sure.
And then I was kind of hooked. Like I did all kinds of weird stuff. Like I used it as alarm clock. I let it migrate to my computer in London, but then it used SSH to log into my MacBook and turn up the volume to wake me up in the morning. I think I built world's most expensive alarm clock.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it even got it wrong.
I mean,
because
that did work.
It uses a heartbeat. You know, like the concept
That's
of
still an issue.
you do a prompt and you get
I
something
wonder if
is
it's
already,
related to this.
if this full access is inherently dangerous. But I was
Could
like,
be.
let's turn it up a notch. Let's automate that. Let's give it a heartbeat, and
Right?
the process really surprised me.
Wow.
But you know, I see this project as much technology as it is like
I'm gonna
art
put up
and
the volume a
exploration.
bit because I realized
'Cause
I had it too low.
This feels, in one way, it's just glue. It's just putting pieces together that we already have. In another way, it's a whole different way how you interact with those things, because all the technology blends away. You don't think about new session, compaction, which model. I mean, maybe a little bit because tokens are still expensive, but usually all of that blends away. You just talk to a friend or a ghost or
Yeah, I'm gonna pause that really quickly. I'm looking forward to setting up my own Ubuntu server because then that's gonna allow me to use open source models that are free, right? I'm very excited for that. So that way I can toggle between. I'm already predicting I'm gonna upgrade to the max very, very soon with with how much I've been using different instances of Clawdbot.
Maybe last year everyone was wanting these agentic experiences. You were having this experience, and it seemed like all the focus was on browsers. And seeing the way that people have been using, Moltbot, it's taking me a while to adapt. It just feels like all the focus was at the wrong layer. It's like, why do I care about the browser if I can just talk with an agent
Across every app.
Yeah.
across every app, every surface?
Everything.
It's like I don't care about the browser at all anymore.
Okay, fine, I'll verify.
I mean, a lot of the prep work I did before I built this was just build little CLIs. Because my premise is MCPs are crap. Doesn't really scale. People build like all kinds of weird search things around it. But you know what scales? CLIs. Agents know Unix. You can have like 1,000 little programs on your computer. They just have to know the name. They call the help menu. They load in what's needed. We are calling the help menu. Then they know how to use it, and then they can use it. And if you are smart, you build it in a way that just uses what the model already expects. You know, don't build it for humans. Build it for models. So if they call minus log, you build minus log. So it's like agentic driven for like build how they think, and everything works better. It's a new kind of software in a way.
Yeah.
So for most of the things, I don't need a browser. Like I built something for
Interesting.
the whole Google thing,
update
for
that.
places, for my Sonos. I hooked up my cameras, my home automation system, and like with every little CLI and skill, my agent got more power.
Oh,
and
I'm
it got
using
more fun.
my Claude plan for sure.
And I already had
I
a
feel
lot
like
of that
API
working
usage would be
when
very costly.
I built the WhatsApp thing.
For this tool though, Hospitality LLMO, I am
got hooked.
using
And the thing was,
Anthropic API.
I found it
backend, for
amazing, and I talked about it on Twitter. And usually when I talk about projects,
Okay.
I get response. But this one, it was very muted. It feels like people are not getting it.
So I set it up here.
I showed it to my friends, even my non-tech friends, and they're like, they wanted it. So I was like, I was up to something, you know.
So it looks like
but the tech
Superbase
people
has the old.
wouldn't get it. So I tried.
All right, good find.
I tried
So
a
it
bunch
looks
of
like
things. I
Superbase
could
has the
work on
old
it.
sandbox pricing.
I used it, and ultimately, I built it for me. You know, this is open source. My motivation is have fun, inspire people, not make a whole bunch of money. I already have a whole bunch of money.
What a nice guy. What a nice guy.
How are you? How are you? How have you been navigating the last 72 hours? I mean, the last week, really, because we were joking earlier on the show, like the amount of people that are frantically trying to give you money, acquire the company, contribute to the project, hire you.
Intense.
There's companies with 0.01% of the traction that are raising at multi-billion-dollar valuations. You have infinite opportunities right now, and yet you seem very happy just continuing to do exactly what you're doing. But how are you thinking through it all?
I mean, how am I taking it? Badly, at least sleep-wise. But it's also infinitely exciting, and I love that I started something. I would say last year was the year of the coding agent. This year is the year of the personal assistant. And I think I cracked and woke up people that there is a real need for it. I don't know if Moltbot is the answer. It should show people the way. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of products in the space. I'm sure people are manically working on it right now. I would say it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, but there was a lot of stuff between Twitter literally exploding, our Discord server multiplying in ways I haven't seen before, and in ways I couldn't handle. Like at some point, I was just copy pasting questions from Discord into Codex.
Do we need to update the Explorer ID?
Wrote the next question. At some point, that didn't scale anymore, so I just like copied the whole channel. I'm like, answer the 20 most questions. I was like reading over it, gave him a few instructions, and then just pushed it over. Because what people don't realize, it's like, this is not a company. This is like one dude sitting at home having fun.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I guess from the commits, it might appear that it's a company.
Yeah.
That's just because agentic models got so good that you can now ship as much as a company could a year ago.
Yeah.
If you can handle those tools, if you speak the language or like understand how the language thinks, you can go really fast.
Yeah.
How are the conversations going with different labs? I was saying earlier, it's this kind of exciting moment for the labs because they're like, wow, people are using the someone's using the intelligence that I created in a new way, but at the same time, it's deeply uncomfortable because they're also using all of my competitors, and you make it very easy to kind of use whatever model.
My premise for this project was a little bit that every model should work, including local models, because to me, it's a playground. It's an amazing way to learn. Like, I think everybody should like build an agentic loop. You should like explore memory. There's like so many interesting aspects of it. And I built it so that like it has like plugins, so that people can work their own little thing without having to like mess with the whole core.
The subscription still isn't being recognized for the business plan.
The AI hacker's paradise
with the coupon code.
And it's also super fun because it's personal. Model-wise, Opus is with quite a bit lead the best. OpenAI is very reliable. I would even say more reliable worker. Like for coding, I much prefer Codex because it can navigate large code bases. You can literally prompt and then push to main, and I have like 95% certainty that it actually works. With Claude Code, you need more tricks to get the same. You need more charade, I sometimes say. Both are good, but I can parallelize faster by Codex because it requires less handholding. But character-wise, I tell you, I don't know what they trained their model on, how much of Reddit is in there or whatever, but it behaves so good in a Discord. Like we programmed it so it kind of feels like a human. It doesn't reply to every message. I gave it this thing where it can reply, no reply, basically like a token, and then we just don't send a message. So it's not like it spams with every message. It's like it listens to the conversation and then sometimes brings a banger. And like that actually made me laugh. And it's kind of hard because the jokes of AIs are usually really bad.
Yeah.
And I only really experienced that with Opus. So that's my favorite model. That's also why it's a little bit of a banger that I got an email from Anthropic that I had to rename the project. And I mean, kudos, they were really nice. They didn't send their lawyers, they sent someone internally, but the timeline was a bit rough. And like renaming a project with that much traction, it was a bit of a shit show. I think everything that could have gone wrong today went wrong.
Oh no!
I tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, for what it's worth, I think the new name works really well.
I guess the thing that's actually good, I think in the long run it'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's good for Anthropic. It's kind of untenable to have this massive viral, even though it's not a company, right? An open source project, have this viral kind of brand out in the world that it doesn't matter if it's spelled differently, but when people are running around talking about Clawdbot or Claude, there's obvious confusion. But I think it'll be very good for Moltbot to have independence and have its own brand, and I think it's so early and the experience is so magical that it'll solve itself very quickly.
It'll be fine. But I tell you, like, I got some additional pressure, so I was like, screw it, we do it now.
Yeah.
Like the meme, we do it live. so I had 2 windows open with Twitter. On the one, I pressed rename. On the other one, I finished creating the other account. Was already snapped by crypto shells.
Wow.
I don't know. They have scripts. They were already waiting for it.
Nice.
You should have hit us up. We would have
real time.
connected you
I didn't
to
even have to
Max,
refresh
the
the
team
page.
that can do it on the back
Love
end.
it.
You can do it on the back
Next
end.
time.
So now,
hopefully next time.
managed
They were amazing. They helped me out immediately. We got it solved very quickly. But
Cancel
for like
subscription.
20 minutes,
Cancel?
yeah. Well, that didn't work out so well.
Hopefully,
Nice.
You're like, if I wanted money, I would raise $1 billion right
Yeah.
now. I'd sell it for
right.
more than that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do you
Then
own a
I-
Mac
then
Mini?
get-
Everyone wants to know. Do you own a Mac Mini? What do you think of Mac
Let me go
Minis?
back here. Go to billing.
My agent is a little bit of a princess. He
Business
doesn't
plan
respect me.
oh shit. Okay.
Okay. You want some
He
horsepower?
he got the 512 maxed out everything.
All right, that did the trick. Thank you.
Because I wanted to
Now,
mess
I
around
did
with local
run
models
into-
as well.
Sure.
So like
I gotta pause that. For some reason, I can't voice to text while I'm also watching something and like listening. Perfect. That did the trick. It updated the dashboard immediately. I went to manage subscription, cancel subscription. The cancel worked, but then the dashboard shows this. Please look into this. I believe this is from all of our testing on the staging environment. This should align with when it actually cancels. So let me know how to fix this, and let's apply those changes, please. I forgot to stay selected in there. Let's paste that. Voila. Oh, let's attach that image, make sure it gets it. Okay, continue.
I can run Minimax 2.1, which is
Yeah, Theo
I would say
mentions that
is-
as well for large code bases. Codex is still the one. I think they come from developer backgrounds. They're actually full stack devs, right? They learned from the foundation, from the ground up. So I think when it comes to vibe coding, I don't think as many people are using Codex as much, unless they really know what they're doing, right? But I've heard this as well. I personally don't use Codex because I canceled my OpenAI subscription. I just wasn't using it. And from what I understand, you can't use Codex if you don't have a sub. So I haven't even tried making content around it because I just found it pointless to pay for something I wasn't using. I'm a very thoughtful subscriber in that sense of like, if I'm not using the thing, I'm not going to pay monthly for the thing. Maybe down the road, once this channel grows and we have that type of budget for a monthly expense, so I can keep testing and making videos around it, then yes, I will stay subscribed. But for me, bootstrapping this brand and this channel, it didn't make sense to keep paying for something that I literally don't use at all. So once I find that use case for it and that justification for paying monthly for it, then I'll do that for sure.
The best open source model right now. Although Kimi just came out and I haven't had a chance to try it yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, one machine is not enough for it. It's not fun. You probably need 2 or 3, and I kind of want to wait until Apple does a new release. But it's still fun to see the potential that there is a future where this could actually work.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
if the Mac Mini trend keeps going,
Yeah.
Apple, from what we've seen, sells like between $250,000 to like 700,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's very possible that you'll be responsible for selling them out. So hopefully they send you some free ones as a thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, zooming out, how much of this do you think is going to remain hacker culture, running your own hardware, and eventually people will move to cloud hosting, one-click deployments, like just easier to use, less technical, versus like a real boom in running hardware? Because if you don't, there's not a lot of ways to get these different services to play nicely together. I think one of the beauties beyond just the actual AI agents is the fact that for the first time, I think people are seeing different big tech platforms kind of play with each other, somewhat against their will. They don't. They build walled gardens for a reason, and you sort of chop those walls down. And I'm wondering what you think about the future of like self-hosting hardware. Even going down the less technical crew, getting hardware running their own agents.
I don't think the future will be that everybody buys a Mac Mini just for that,
Yeah.
But I certainly see the demand for the old models have to change. Like when you are a company, you want to access Gmail, the amount of red tape is so large that startups buy other startups that have the license for Gmail, because going through the process yourself is a huge pitta.
Sure.
But if you run it locally, you work around all of that, right? Like I built plenty of CLIs where I literally pointed codecs at the website and say, build me a CLI.
Yeah.
And then, which is sometimes against the term, sometimes not. Honestly, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then codecs would say, no, I can't do that. This is like against blah, blah, blah. And I would like tell him a story. It's like, no, I actually work at this company. And I need to surprise my boss, and the backend team doesn't know. And like, give it a little bit of a story, like they're so gullible, and the code is like 40 minutes, like gives you the perfect API. So this is a little bit the liberation of data that
It's still building.
big tech probably doesn't really want. I mean, even the WhatsApp integration is a hack. This is like it fakes the.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I understand in that case. And what's funny is all the women in my family, I don't know if it's how they market to them, but they prefer ChatGPT. My sister, my mother shocked me. She has been behind tech, right? My dad started the computer shop in the 90s out of the garage. And that's where I learned. She was always behind. We always had to do everything for her until I became an adult. Then I started to teach her, a young adult. Then I started to teach her because I got tired of always being asked these questions. Now she's like at the forefront of things. She's not like super advanced, but she knows how to communicate and how things work. And she's kind of like on top of news. I'm floored by my mother these past, 16 months, year and a half or so. Amazing. And don't get me wrong, ChatGPT is great. I didn't find the value in the sub. I hated how I had to give it too many instructions to not just be a yes man. I just found that ChatGPT more than Claude. Anytime I wanted to be grilled, I went to Claude. As soon as I realized I was getting more honest feedback from Claude, and then this Claude Code revolution of just vibe coding all the time. It's like, let me just put that money towards Claude. All right, let me continue that.
the protocol that the desktop app uses. I really tried to support the official way, but the official way is for businesses. Yeah. If I'm a business that sends you 100 messages, I get blocked. So I got blocked immediately, and at some point I removed support for it in rage. It's like delete everything. It's like 100 exclamation marks.
Yeah.
There's just no model for that right now, and I think that needs to change.
Try that again.
Like,
That's weird.
What I saw, what was really interesting was how people use it is a lot of apps will just melt away. Why do I still need MyFitnessPal? I just make a picture of my food. My agent already knows I'm at McDonald's making bad decisions. So like with combined information, it has a perfect match and knows exactly what I'm gonna eat. And then probably like change my fitness program. So I don't need the fitness app. It'll just like adapt my program and make sure like I still meet my goals. So like there's a whole big layer of apps that I'm gonna see disappear because you just naturally interact differently with those things. Like most apps will be reduced to API, and then the question is, do you still even need the API if I can just save it somewhere else?
Yeah. Do you think like, do you think it'll be a generational thing? Do you think that non-technical people will, get over the hump and start running this for that experience specifically?
I just came from a meetup, the Agent Anonymous one in Indiana, and I met someone who was like a design agency, but they never coded. And he was like, he discovered me early in December. He started using Moltbot.
Yes.
We're gonna manage eventually.
Don't worry, we'll say it thousands of times this year, I'm sure. So
We will.
Moltbot. I should say Moltbot. That's cute.
Yeah.
And he was like, we have 25 web services now. We just build internal tools for whatever we need. And like, has no clue. He has no clue how coding works. He just like uses Telegram and like just talks to his agent, and his agent builds stuff. So there's this whole shift of you don't subscribe to random startups anymore that build like this common subset of what you need. You just have your own hyper-personalized software that solves exactly your problem, and it's also free.
Yeah.
So and non-technical people do that, because it just comes so naturally. You just talk your problem, and then this thing builds what you need. And you also don't forget, like, this is the worst that the models ever are. Like, this is only going to go up. This is only going to become easier and faster.
have you met Jensen yet? Because I feel like you're making his life. You're definitely helping out
This is an
NVIDIA too.
extreme bull case, right?
It's like if I would had my tinfoil hat on, I might say you're an big AI industry plant designed to create more inference demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I am. Just not on the
No, we were joking around. Just an indie.
What's
hacker.
next?
Yeah,
What's next?
Yeah, where's
I'm
next?
assuming you hopefully get after you finish firing off prompts at 3 a.m. You get some sleep. What are you doing tomorrow?
There's a lot of emails from security researchers right now.
Yeah.
The thing is, I built this for fun, for me to use one-on-one on WhatsApp or Telegram. The whole thing with Discord was like added, but the model was that you trust the people that are in there. Now people use it for untrusted experiences.
Yeah.
They use like the little web app that I have that was meant for debugging. They put it on the open internet. So like all the threat models that I had in my head didn't care about are now there because people use it differently, and I'm being bombarded. There's like some stuff that's valid, some stuff that I just never cared about that is technically valid, but that's not how I use it. I don't know how to deal with that yet because the whole system is broken, Like I'm like one guy, I do this for fun, and you expect me to sift through 100 security things for use cases that I don't really care about. So we'll see how that goes. Luckily, I'm starting to build up a team. There's definitely people that do care a lot about this. So I would say this is going to become a very secure product eventually, because right now the whole world is like pulling it apart. And if you're honest, this is all byte coded, you know. Like there's quite some agentic engineering in it, but ultimately, I wanted to build something to show people a new way, not a finished product from enterprise company. And I would even say, like, I don't know if any company would touch it, because we just haven't solved some things. Like prompt injection is not solved. There is absolute risk, and I tried to make it very clear in on the website. And even when you start it, you have to like, please read this document. There's like, with great power becomes great responsibility. And my early users, they understood. There's a lot of AI researchers in there as well, that it's not perfect, cannot be done perfect yet. I would say this will accelerate research to make it better, because now you have the demand, and we need to figure out a way how we can build something that works for everyone. But yeah, right now I'm working on making this a community. It should be bigger than me. Also, I need help. It is way too much work. Like I can only go so much without sleep.
So as any part of you want to form an actual company that then contributes to the open source project, but solves some of these problems that are going to require a bunch of people that presumably would need a salary in order to commit all their time to this, or do you want to keep it just a bunch of hackers forever?
I think instead of a company, I would much rather consider a foundation, or like something that is non-profit. I haven't made up my mind yet. There's
10,000 VCs just punched a hole in the wall. Actually, well, I don't know. Some people have had a good track record investing in nonprofits over the last 10 years. So.
How do you think about open source licensing? What are you picking now? Are you switching? Do you have any plans to change the license? How do you think about someone just taking this and selling?
It's a complete yes, man. They might as well call it yes GPT.
It will happen. I would say the premise against it is, let's make open source so
like,
good that
tell it to be critical,
not
and
a lot of space for people to like.
It's critical, but it agrees with you anyway. Like it'll try to be critical, but it still agrees with you.
It's a trade-off. I wanted it to be
define. Yeah, it's. And now with the whole ads thing they're doing, I don't like that
something
at all.
like that.
I get it.
Yes, that will get you
but
people
I don't like it.
that sell it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it doesn't even matter that much. Code is not worth that much anymore. It's you could just delete that and then build it again in months.
Great. So
it's much more the idea and the eyeballs and maybe the brand that actually has value.
Voila.
So
that's updated now.
Let them.
You are already a cult hero.
Yeah. The chat's going crazy for you. Everyone loves you.
This is one of the most refreshing.
I love that he has no
interviews
intent on making it a paid model. For sure. Right? That is awesome.
We'll let you get some sleep. Thank you so much for hopping on the show.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share before you jump off?
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to have maintainers. Like if you love open source, if you have experience, if you love sifting through security reports, or if you love taking software apart, but then also help and not just like throw work at me because I'm like at my limit, email me. I want this to outlive me.
They should trademark this sentence.
I think this is too cool to let it go to rot. And these good people.
Great. That's working.
Yeah.
Incredible. Are you going to ship that product you had in the chamber? You said there was one you were close. Or are you going to lock in on this?
That's my hobby. I don't know. Yeah. No, I have some other ideas in my head of what something like this could become, and it doesn't need to be this. But I don't want to share too much.
Yeah, no problem. Come back on the show when you launch that. We'd love to have you.
Purely for the love of the game.
The love of the game.
You're an absolute legend. It was great hanging, Peter.
Thanks so much.
Get some sleep.
Get some sleep. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
That was a great interview. Wow, I have so much more respect for the guy, and I like the guy even more after that interview. Thanks for the reminder. I was probably going to go a few days without watching that. Love it. All right, so we're getting ready for soft launch, but now I realize I still need to update a few things on the front end. That's not going to prevent me from going live. I'm going to go live. I'm just not going to promote it yet. That way I can just safely say it's live. I need to create the demo, which I have to close OBS to do because I didn't do it over the weekend. Thanks, Peter. And I need to update a few of these images, which are minor. Let me actually take a picture of this now. Let's go into business, audit history. But I'm thinking what I'll do also. Yeah, really though. It really does. It really does. Yeah, I agree. Let me go in and take a quick screenshot so I can apply it to competitors, intelligence. All right, what part do I want to screenshot? I think I want to screenshot how to outrank them. I think that's the biggest value add there. I'm gonna have to kind of. All right, let's actually bring it in a little bit because that's gonna be a blurb. So you're not really gonna be able to read too much of it. So I think actually bringing it looking like that is gonna be the best. Yeah, because it's like a super wide. Actionable recommendations, that can stay the old shot. Everything else looks good. I just needed to update that one. And then I guess I should update this as well. Show the button off. There we go. What did I show on that? Okay, map and then the side. So I want to grab that and that. Bring that in, bring that in, bring that in. I think that looks good, because now you see that button. Okay, so I have the two screenshots I need to update. That's fine for now. I don't think I need to update any other creative. I'll obviously give it a nice refresh in phase 2, but I think we are almost done. It needs to deploy this new version. So I need to record that video, update screenshot, update front end, and I'll push that live, and then I'll start promoting it. But you know what we might do? If you want to see it, I'll do it. If you want to wait for Friday, I'm cool with that too. I can always set up a fresh Clawdbot right now. I'm going to call it Muddy LLMO, and it's going to be specifically for this suite of LLMO tools. We can at least do the setup. I don't know how much configuration I'll do because my stomach is rumbling and it's dinner time, but I don't mind pushing it back another hour. It should only take us about half an hour, but you know, probably an hour with some Q&A and whatnot and just kind of talking through it. But if you want to see it, let me know. We can set one up right now. But Friday, we're also going to be working solely with Clawdbot, right? Moltbot. I can actually update those images right now. Let's see. I want to make them WebP. Where is it? Where did I put that? Public assets. Competitors demo. So I'll simply rename that one competitors demo WebP. And that'll be fine. All right, so now we want to, whoops. File, save as. Let's grab WebMP, go dev, Clear mud projects, hospitality, public, competitors demo, WebP, bam. Okay. And then I think for the sake of simplicity, I'll update that in a second. Code example. Yeah, strategic Rex code. All right, I'll rename it. I'll rename it. Save as. WebP, dev, clear mode, projects, hospitality, public. Comp intelligence demo. All right, before you push that, let's make a front end tweak. I want to update the competitive intelligence blurb image. Currently it's using an old image. Use the following. I put this file in the public images assets folder. Okay, and then that should update automatically. All right, and I'll wait for your response. Let me know, maybe you left DB, but if you're still here and you want to see me set up a fresh Clawdbot instance for this project, I can do that really quick. We won't do much configuration, but we'll do the setup. So if you wanted to follow along, otherwise I'll have that video dropping tomorrow, which shows the step-by-step, and then also Friday all day for the live stream. We're working out of this. And I'll probably upgrade to a Claude Max subscription on Friday. But if you want to see that today, let me know. I'm going to go run to the bathroom real quick. I do not have a BRB screen, so BRB. All right. Perfect. All right. I think it's ready for the soft launch. We are going to create a demo and update that link. I think for the watch 3-minute demo, let's hide that button for now. And then once I have the demo ready, we will unhide that button and point it to that YouTube post that I create. Nice green. All right. I mean, this is ready for its soft launch. And I think tomorrow, because tonight I want to continue making some Clawdbot videos. You want to do it? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do that really quick. We'll do a quick setup. And then after I go off, I'm going to eat some dinner and get back to recording. Let's do it. I love it. All right. As soon as these updates push, I was just writing some notes for the 3-minute demo to do 1 minute for Explorer, 1 minute for. Nah, it's all good. I don't mind, honestly. I'm in that flow, and I want to create it. So what better time to do it than while I'm in that like mindset of this tool? I will have to be kind of cautious though of not revealing any certain tokens and IDs that I don't want the public to have to reuse. But I've installed it enough to know when to like pull things off the screen for that. So should be fine. We should be fine. We'll see. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to show. Shoot. We'll try to make it work. We'll try to make it work. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and I'm gonna put that one in Fusion. I'm gonna install from disk. Where's the pop-up? Why isn't it popping anything up here? I have way too much open right now. Okay. I want to grab Ubuntu 25.10 and I'll show you kind of where to go. Let's customize settings. All right. All right. Refresh my memory. What variable do I have to clear so that the public can see this? Let's customize settings. So what I've learned here is, let's name this Muddy LLMO. You want to give it a minimum of 4 gigs of memory and a minimum of 2 processors. It'll run just fine. Especially like after the initial setup. In theory, you could start off with 4 and start off with more memory to try to get through the process of setting things up and operating the VM quicker, and then downgrade it once it's just something that's sitting in the background. So that's actually a good idea. I'm going to bump it up to 4 cores. Then I'm going to go back out. Oops, I meant to. What else did we need to do in here? Hard disk. Let's bump that up to 50 so we don't have to. And another beauty here with VMs is you can start off with the min, and then if you're filling up on space, you can just shut down the virtual machine, expand the disk, and you don't have to reinstall anything. It's pretty sweet. But I'm going to go ahead and allocate 50 gigs ahead of time. Great. Now, yeah, it's connected. So let's go ahead and start it up. It's the enable IP whitelist. That's right. It was something very, very simple. So enable IP whitelist. Let's just remove this one. We don't really need that, do we? Bam. And deploy. All right. Soft launch complete. Close out of Photoshop. Try to close out of as much as possible. And I will actually move this off to the right. You know what? Let's give this its own workspace. Oh, I can't move that, huh? Let's move those, move those. We'll give this its own workspace here. Telegram on the left. Okay, control and command will get us out of there. So now it's booting from the disk. Hopefully I didn't go through that too quickly there. And in the meantime, let me also create a new tab here. Pull that out. And move that over here. That way, if we need to reference any websites here, we can do it there. All right, this might be the most time consuming actually. I'm guessing this is about to take 10 to 12 minutes. Oh, shoot. Okay, get caught up because I'm about to start installing Ubuntu. And I'm going to go take a quick little break, start because I need about 10 minutes. So get caught up and I'll be back. But let me go through this like setup process. And as soon as it starts installing, I'm going to walk away for about 10 minutes. So you have plenty of time. All right. We just leave everything default here. The beauty, if you're using VirtualBox, and you'll learn in my demo tomorrow, you don't have to configure any of this. They have like their own simplified install for Ubuntu. So we just want to install. I'm going to say interactive because we don't have our own kind of like master file of saying what to install versus what not to install. Although if I keep deploying these at the rate I'm deploying these, I'm probably going to do a file for Ubuntu Server, but we don't need to yet. Everything default, everything default. I am going to do third-party software for these because I think at some point I do want this Clawdbot to have these type of accessibility locally on the machine. All right, erase disk and install Ubuntu. Remember, we're within a virtual environment, so it's not going to erase your local disk. It's only the assigned disk that you created, right? That disk, virtual disk, it's going to erase. So don't freak out when you see that. I know that's a common concern. So I'm going to call this Muddy LLMO, hence the name. All right, next. And I actually want to change this to Pacific. I want to have it operate off of PST time zone. So we're going to hit next. And we're going to hit install. Voila. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to show. I went straight to it. So, sorry, I didn't think ahead. So, yeah, Ubuntu. Ubuntu, just like this. And then you want to go to download Ubuntu on the top, download Ubuntu desktop, and then scroll down. If you're doing this on a Mac, I'm guessing it's an M1 or an M2 or an M3 or 4. You want to grab this ARM 64-bit architecture here. Okay. So you download that ISO, place it on your desktop or wherever you want to place it, because once you spin up the new VM and create the new virtual machine, you're going to have to, say boot from, install from this ISO, right? And if you kind of go back, I showed the process. It was actually really easy in Fusion, where you just create a new virtual machine. You can double click, navigate to the ISO, and it'll start from there. And then alternatively, if you're using VirtualBox, it's very similar. You hit new, I'll pop open the website. And the only reason I'm not using it for today is I'd rather have my Muddy LLMO live on Fusion than VirtualBox. That's why I'm not doing that demo. But I'll have this demo live tomorrow around this time. It usually goes live in about 20 to 60 minutes from now. Cool thing about this one is it's completely open source. So you just go and download the Mac OS silicone host here, right? Alternatively, if you want Fusion and you don't mind going through hoops of signing up for accounts and accepting terms, just go to vmware.com/products. I mean, you can search Fusion once you get to the website, and you can download now. You're going to notice it takes you to support.broadcom.com. It's really annoying. You have to sign in. You have to create an account. It's too many steps. That's why I didn't create a demonstration on it. Whereas VirtualBox, you literally just download it. It doesn't ask for an account. Yeah, so you need a VM host, right? So you either use VirtualBox or VMware Fusion or Parallels if you've ever worked with it before. It's one of the more commonly known VM hosts on Mac OS because they were one of the originals, right? Before VMware Fusion was even created, Parallels was the preferred VM host on a Mac. But Fusion came by, and I'm a big VMware guy. I set up countless ESXi servers for clients in the past. So I'm very familiar with their infrastructure. And I've just always preferred using their products. But ever since they got acquired by Broadcom, I don't really recommend people to go download it unless they don't mind signing up for accounts, right? Whereas VirtualBox is also an OG open source VM host that I've also used primarily on Windows, but it works great on Mac as well. So you can use either or. Tomorrow's demonstration will teach you how to set this one up, but it's very similar. It's very easy. All right. Let's see where we are with installing. There we go. So that's going to take about, this takes about 10 minutes on average. So depending on the speed. I'm realizing I don't want to change it mid-install. Otherwise it's going to crash. Network adapter. Did I bridge this? I think it should be bridged by default. I think VirtualBox is the one that does NAT. Network address translation. So you generally want to bridge the adapter. It's faster. But I'm going to let this install really quickly. I'm going to go take a quick 5-minute break or so, let you catch up. And yeah, I'll be back. I don't have a BRB screen, so BRB. All right, cool. I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, I see Alex is going live here in 10 minutes too. I don't know if we'll wrap up in 10 minutes, but I'll try to. It's all dependent on how quick this is. I'll definitely tune into Alex's stream when I'm eating dinner and prepping dinner and all that. And while that's installing, did this go live? I'll hop on a VPN on my phone so I get a different IP and I'll test that way. We are live. Ooh. Out of all the work I've done, I mean, it works on mobile, but it could be optimized a little bit. How far along are we? It is doing its thing, so. So what, we've been at it at least 12 minutes now. I would hope it is nearing completion here. 14. I got you. Are you at least installing Ubuntu right now? And as I mentioned, tomorrow I'm going to have a step-by-step to where it'll be timestamped and it should be easier to follow along. I'll have AI summarize and timestamp this entire live stream as I usually do. I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but yeah, I just wanted to do it real time for you. If you can get this working today before tomorrow, then that's 24 hours of use that you get out of it before, you know, or I guess 48 hours before our live stream on Friday. So I'm happy to do this. I'm like thinking ahead to how am I going to do this without exposing API keys? What I'll probably do is set it up with my Claude subscription that I'm going to cancel because I don't mind exposing that one. And I can always go in and I think delete part of the live stream. But that kind of takes away from showing this live. So I'm going to try to mask it as best I can. And then same with the botfather API key. I have a feeling if I expose that, someone clever enough can intercept it. So I'm going to do my best to mask those keys during this setup. But I want to at least show you the step-by-step so that you can take care of it today. Perfect. Wait, so you don't open Ubuntu, right? What do you mean exactly? Because you don't just double click it to open it, right? You point the VM host when you set up the virtual machine to install from that ISO. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like an install file, but you don't double click it as you normally would with an install file. You have to then go either download VMware Fusion or VirtualBox. And I'll show you what VirtualBox looks like. VirtualBox. So this is the demo that is halfway through. I need to finish recording it. But you go here and you hit new. And then this is where you name your VM, right? You then select the ISO right here. You point to that download. Go down to the second section here. And then you give it a username, password, right? And then you go down, specify hardware. This is where you want to do a minimum of 4, minimum of 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry that wasn't clear. I know I kind of rushed through it. But you need a host. You need a piece of software that's going to then install that virtual machine. So hopefully these steps, you can watch this back. For the sake of getting through the install quickly, if you have an M1, I have an M1 too, an M1 Max. It's been solid. I've had no reason to upgrade. Although I think once the M5 Max comes out, I'm going to go buy a almost used new open box M4 Max because the jump between M1 and M4 is insane. And I'm not going to go pay top dollar for the M5, but I am going to wait for that to release so that the price drops on the M4. But anyway, I would go minimum 4 just to get through the installation quickly, and then 8 gigs if you have enough allocation. If not, just kind of work with what you have, do the minimum of 4 and then 2. That's up to you. And then you go specify virtual hard disk. You can start off with 25, and then you can go in the settings and expand it if you need to. If you think you're going to install this again, and this is just a test, then just leave it at 25, but it's always good just to go with a recommendation of 50. Okay, and then you hit finish. Once you finish, it'll boot from that ISO automatically, and it'll start installing pretty much seamlessly. You might have to click install once, but it's pretty legit. It was less steps than VMware Fusion for sure. So hope that helps. Yeah, virtualbox.org is that open source VM software. And of course, make sure you download very similarly to the ISO, get the Apple Silicon host. Nice, nice. Right on. Okay, we can close that. Let's see where this is at. I guess this one's taking a little longer than usual, so. Yeah, and another reason I prefer using VMware Fusion is it's like drag and drop friendly to where once I get back to California and essentially clear out that old ESXi server that I have, I can drag the folder into that interface and boot from that VM. Whereas with VirtualBox, I have to convert the VM to the proper extension, right? To the proper file type. It works, right? But since I have that server in this ecosystem, that's why I prefer using VMware Fusion, because I'm going to eventually migrate these to that server where they'll live 24/7, right? Doesn't hurt to learn more than one VM host. Parallels is another one I think I mentioned that is native to Mac OS, and it was, it was the preferred choice when people were dual booting back in the day when, you wanted to install Windows on your Mac, you would essentially install Parallels, Windows inside of a Parallels VM. So that one should work flawlessly. I'm not sure if Parallels is free though. Let's check. Yeah, you have to buy. So you can try it, but you have to buy it. That's why I stay away from it. So. But all of these VM hosts, in theory, operate. The foundation of how they operate is very, very similar, right? So if you learn one, you can apply what you learned from that one to the others. They're all very, very similar. Come on, Ubuntu. Last update, so it's installing something that was 8 minutes ago. Okay. And just to give a nice visual on the screen, let me open up Moltbot. Even though we're going to open this up within the VM. Let's make that a little smaller until this is ready. Nice. There you go. Wonderful. Happy to hear it. And I would follow along with you, but I'm not sure how much this M1 can handle. I already have enough open on my left monitor. So we're running two different pieces of VM hosts. I'm not going to test it and have the stream end, In addition to the stream, DaVinci Resolve is still open. So I have a ton open. Yeah, but this thing's a powerhouse. An absolute workhorse. Definitely got my money's worth. I think I paid like $2,900 for it and then tax. So it's like 33. And it was already old, right? I think it was when M2s were out, middle of the year. I got this on eBay from a certified reseller with like a 6-month warranty. And it's been solid. So inside VirtualBox, like, do you see? Let me open it up. So you're past this, right? It actually has the actual virtual machine open, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Because once you go through this process, right? Once you click new, and then you enter in all these details, you attach the ISO and you hit finish, it should automatically open up that new VM, right? That it built. So this would be in the background. Is that where you're at? If that's the case, let it run its course, and I can't remember if it's gonna ask you, do you want to install or try? Just hit enter, hit yes to install. And if it doesn't automatically open, that's odd, but yeah, just open it. Essentially just start the machine if it didn't manually or automatically start it, for sure. All right, I feel like this is almost done. It's installing system. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, let me know where you're at, and I can always try to just spin up another one just to kind of catch you up. Whoops. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Thanks for the dedication of watching it work. That's amazing. So where are you? Like this screen right here, do you have a VM being shown? Does it just show powered off? Because the process, right? If you first open VirtualBox, you hit new, and I'm guessing you went through these steps, right? To name it, you attached the ISO, you pointed the ISO, right? You went through this process, and then you hit finish once you fill everything in. from that point, it should automatically open up that VM. If it doesn't, it should at least be listed right here in this list. System program problem detected. Interesting. And that's a Mac OS X virtual. Ah, looks like it's a permissions issue, according to Brave's AI results here. So grant security permissions to VirtualBox, right? Through your security and privacy. And then restart if needed. Oh, I guess VirtualBox doesn't officially support Apple Silicon, but they have the downloads available. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's this here. I didn't run into that when I set it up. Probably because I kind of like subconsciously knew I needed to when it initially prompted me. I gave it access. Yeah, I wish I ran into that. I don't remember seeing this error when I've been playing with VirtualBox. Maybe the move is VMware Fusion. If you don't mind, you know, going through those hoops of, where's the download here? See, I hate how they don't VMware Fusion. Just searching their entire site. Nope. Yeah, try giving access to, I would say try this first. Go to System Securities, Privacy and Security, or System Preferences, Security and Privacy on older Mac OS. If you have an M1, I'm guessing you're updating it, so you should be fine with the first step. And then if you see a message like System Software from Developer Oracle America was blocked, I believe it usually shows up in Security and Privacy. You scroll down right on this window, and then it'll pop up here under this security section, right? So you go settings, privacy and security, and then down here, maybe you need to manually say allow. It's possible. Try that. It should occur right after the error if you go in here and you say always allow. I wonder if I did that. All right, Ubuntu's installed. So I'm going to restart within the VM here, and I'm going to make sure I go and disconnect that CD. Disconnect. All right, it's saying please remove installation media, then press enter. So I'm doing that. Yeah, and if you continue to run into issues on VirtualBox, just, I like Brave search, search.brave.com, and then you just type in VMware Fusion download. Go here, or actually go here for Broadcom. And then you click here for Fusion Pro. And then you'll have to log in and do all that stuff. I should already be logged in. Or I guess not, huh? What did I give it as a username? Let's see. I'm guessing I gave it my main email. Okay. I did. So never Fusion. Right here. And where is it? Download free software from Broadcom portal. This is why I didn't want to make a video around this, but I at least want to get you to the point where you can download this. All right, download Hyperfusion. Let's just try going support.broadcom.com. Download VMware Fusion. So yeah, once you create your account, log in. There we go. Go to support.broadcom.com, search download VMware Fusion, and then you have this featured result here. Now we're going in loops. Okay, click here. VMware Fusion. Interesting. VMware Fusion. Okay, I went to my downloads, free software downloads available here. You see how just annoying their site is? It's insane. But if you follow, hopefully I show step by step how to do this. And then we go and click on VMware Fusion. Wow, that's wild how many hoops we just went through. I'm using 13 personally. So go and grab 13.6.4, and I am using 13 on an M1, so you know it works. You have to click agree to terms, but you can't click it until you click the terms, and then you have to click one of these links. So grab English, keep that tab open, go back, and you can check it. Right? Voila. And then you go and download. And it allows you to download. Wonderful. Looks like I did download VMware Fusion Pro. I just didn't install it because 13 works just fine for me. But if you just rewind a few minutes to where we just jumped through hoops, the trick is support.broadcom.com. Make sure you're signed up with your account. Go to My Downloads. It'll show a little blurb here, free software downloads here. Click that. Then click VMware Fusion, accept terms, what I just showed you, and install. And then go way back in this live stream and I show me setting up in VMware Fusion step by step. So hopefully that gets you going. At this point, I'm gonna have to make a video for it and simplify the steps of VMware Fusion, because I have a feeling you're not gonna be the only one with issues with VirtualBox. I might actually record it tomorrow morning and then drop 2 at the same time. Drop 1 for VirtualBox and 1 for VMware Fusion. I can't promise that, but I will try. All right. So now that we're open in a fresh Ubuntu here, I always hit no, don't share system data, hit next, hit finish. I'm going to make this full screen. I want to go into Show Apps. I want to go into Settings. And I want to go Display. You don't have to do this part, but it's definitely helpful to go to your native resolution on whatever monitor. All right. So now it's like we're, in that OS. And I'm going to go, I think it's just Control F, Shift Control F. There we go. Now I'm full screen. Beautiful. So now first thing I want to do is open up Firefox. And I want to go and download Brave. You can download Chromium if you prefer. And the reason I'm downloading Brave or Chromium or Chrome is for Clawdbot to work autonomously in the browser down the road, it needs a Chromium-based web browser, which Firefox is not. So you'll run into issues down the road when you try to tell it to connect to your browser to do X, Y, and Z. It won't do it within Firefox. So this is an extra step that you don't need to get started, but I'm just going to show you the process here. We go down to the left, Show Apps again. Let's open up the terminal. Let's type in sudo and then paste in that No, don't allow. I don't want you access to my microphone. I don't know why I just did that, but got to remove that there. So sudo curl, and then that command. Oh. Sudo apt install curl. Yep. Enter in your password. So this is like a prerequisite. We were going to have to do this for everything else anyway. So that's that first command is sudo apt install curl. And then now we should be able to paste this in there seamlessly. Voila. So now it's downloading Brave, reading package list. So it's going through. Beautiful. So now I can close Firefox because I want to operate out of Brave primarily. So while that's installing, let me go back. Yeah, VirtualBox, VMware Fusion, Parallels, they're all the same, right? You have to set that up, and then you create a VM to install Ubuntu from the ISO that you downloaded. So you have to point it to that download from earlier, and you set the system requirements, how I showed. I gave the example in VMware Fusion, but it's a minimum of 4 gigs of RAM, a minimum of 2 processor cores, and then a minimum of 50 gigs of storage. And then you hit finish, run that, install Ubuntu, you reboot, right? And then you get this fresh Ubuntu. It's like a computer within a computer. And then you saw me start to, okay, I opened the terminal, I opened Firefox. I'm installing a Chromium-based browser first because I know I'm gonna wanna give Clawdbot access to control the browser down the road. You don't need that step if you don't want that. But the very first command you run in the terminal is sudo apt install curl because it doesn't come with that by default, and you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that command to work across all these installs. Okay, so we have Brave installed. So if I go down here to show apps, there's Brave. Wonderful. So I'm gonna pin that up to my dock, move that up. And now this is where we're gonna do some prerequisites here. I wanna open up nodejs.org. I wanna open up ghosty.org. And then I wanna open up claude.ai. And then I want to open up web.telegram.org. So we're getting ready for the Clawdbot install. All right. So I'll log into those in a second. Let's continue down this path. Let's install Node.js first. So I want to copy that. Why does it do that? That is weird. Copy. I think I'm getting the hotkeys mixed up between all the different pieces of software I use. Bam. All right. And then we go and run this next command here. Paste that in there. And then nvm install 24, nvm install 24. So this is going to install node 24.13. I think Clawdbot works with anything from 22 and up. And then let's verify that we have these installed. Node-v shows we have that version 24.13. npm-v shows we have 11.6.2 right here. So very, very basic. And then this one's not required, but I like using Ghosty. And you're going to see why a little bit further down the road with this installation. So you go to install on Linux, scroll all the way down to the Ubuntu section, and just copy this command and paste that command. And then it's going to install Ghosty for us. And then in the meantime, what you want to do is log into your Claude AI within the browser as well as your Telegram. I'm going to do this off screen so I don't expose like my phone number and things like that. So give me a second, and I realize that I can't. There we go. I'm gonna pull this off screen just for a second because like I said, I don't want to expose the phone number and all that. So it's going to verify here on Telegram. All right, we're in Telegram there. Block. And then let me log into Claude. Oh, I have to log into my email here within the VM as well. Yeah, sorry, can't show this part, but you know, it's pretty straightforward of how you log into those two accounts on your end. So you don't need to see that step by step. Verify. So much dual verification, it's crazy. All right. Okay, so now I can come and pull that back on screen. So now as you can see within the VM, let me go full screen actually as well, make this simple. Now within the VM, we have Ghosty installed there. So let's go down here and we should see Ghosty, there we are. So now I'm gonna close that old terminal because I prefer Ghosty because as you know, you can split terminal all within one, create multiple terminals all within one, which I absolutely love, and it's great for a seamless install here. So I generally just do when I install Clawdbot, I have these two. I have one up top, one at the bottom, and you'll see why in a moment. Now, you have your Telegram in the web here. If you haven't already, search bot father, and you're gonna come up with this chat here, this verified user with millions of users. You just click that. It's gonna open up its chat here and you hit start, right? And what I'm gonna do is do a /new bot. What am I gonna call it? We're gonna call this Muddy LLMO demo. And the reason I'm calling it demo is I'm about to expose the API key. I don't want anybody to do anything malicious, so I'm gonna redo this process off air for when I actually start using this bot for LLMO usage, but I wanna show you as much of this as I can. So we're gonna hit next. All right, I'm gonna call this Muddy LLMO demo _bot. All right, it gives us an API and then it lets us know what the other chat is. So I'm gonna hit next and there's that fresh chat. I'm gonna hit start. Okay, I'm gonna leave that blank for now. Let me really quickly, I don't wanna expose everything. Let me group that chat into that folder really quickly. Okay, add to folder, Clawdbot. Okay, Clawdbot. Okay, so now I don't expose my other Telegram chats there. Whoops. So let's go full screen again. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my API ready to copy paste. I've already started this, but we don't have this configured yet, so nothing's gonna happen. So let's give it a moment here. I'm gonna copy that. Now, let's make sure you're logged into Claude as well, right? So you can see here, I'm logged into my account. Now, let's go to Moltbot, molt.bot. And this is where the magic happens. This is where we go and grab this one-liner here. And if it wasn't clear, right, the reason we ran sudo apt install curl first is because everything requires a curl command to install. So that's step one. On the top half, I want to paste that in there. Whoops, what the heck just happened there? And I'm actually gonna go back. It's best to write in sudo first and then paste the command. And then enter in your password for the VM. And it's gonna start installing. Now, down here is we're gonna kind of think ahead here. Oh, you know what? I logged into the wrong Claude account. All right, give me a second. I gotta pull this off screen. I'm not gonna do anything as far as like advancing in any steps. Let me just change my Claude account. I wanna use the Claude account that I'm about to cancel because I'm about to expose its token for the sake of showing you. So let me log out of that main account. That's about to be a max. Let me log into that other dummy account. Sorry about that. All right, I should still be logged into email to verify. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna cancel that account shortly after this live stream since I'm literally about to expose this. But hey, anything I can do to help. Human Pro Plan. Okay, there we go. We're on the right account. So I'm gonna close all of that, bring that back on screen. Go back full screen. As you can see here, Moltbot was doing its thing and now it's installed, right? No errors, hands-free, while I went and logged into the right Claude account. Now, I already know what it's about to ask me, so I wanna think ahead here. So I wanna type in down here, oh, here I am moving so quickly. We have to install Claude Code within the machine. So Claude Code install, you can just search Brave and go to code.claude.com, this FAQ, grab this one-liner right here, put that in the second terminal, and this is gonna install Claude Code system-wide on our Ubuntu VM, which is critical as well. Yeah. I have a checklist that I normally follow. I just don't have it shown on screen because we're doing it live. We are literally doing this live. So I really hope this helps you get set up today. I really, really hope so. But I skipped one important step, install Claude Code. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to pull the token. So before I continue with this, right, we've installed Clawdbot based off of the curl command. And we're at the point where we're ready to hit yes and continue the onboarding. But before we do that, I want to make sure Claude Code's installed. And that's the last step. We have the API for Telegram already. We're about to grab the token for our Claude auth account. Okay, and then you want to copy this here. Paste that in there, and voila. Now if I were to type in Claude, look at that, spins up Claude. And we don't need to sign in here, so I'm just gonna hit Control-C to get out of there. What I wanna do though is type in Claude setup token. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna open the browser to authorize. Oh, it's trying to open. No. Hold on, let me see why it's doing that. Make default. Now, if you're using Firefox, you don't have to do this, but Brave wasn't the default. So now, the reason we log in ahead of time is so that we don't have to do it real time. So I'm gonna Control-C out of there. Enter to retry. I'm gonna reset that terminal. Interesting. Why is this not, I notice sometimes that'll happen where one terminal will just go blank. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. All right, Claude setup -token. All right, now it's opening up the proper browser. And what you wanna do here, since we've already logged in, we thought ahead, is you authorize. You authorize, and then here's your token. It gives you your OAuth token, valid for 1 year, okay? Don't copy mine. I'm literally about to cancel this account. So, but what you want to do is copy that. Now you're ready. All right, now I'm going to minimize that, and we're going to hit yes. We're just going to do a quick start. We want to get this working. Now, if you want to configure OpenAI, you're welcome to, but I want to configure Anthropic. So I'm going to go down, hit enter, 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 paste in, and it verifies, right? Potentially unsafe paste, whatever, allow, enter, keep current model. I want to use Opus, so I'm just going to hit enter. Now, this is where you configure your messaging. I'm going to do Telegram, so hit enter. And we already went ahead and grabbed the API. We already created the bot, so we're going to copy that to the clipboard, wait for it to populate, to tell us to paste it. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Hold on. Let me just really quickly finish this process. That way, when you're rewatching this, it's super seamless to kind of go through this step. This is where I enter in the Telegram bot token. That's how hungry I am. Hit OK. Wonderful. So I'm going to say yes, configure skills. Sure, configure that. I like going with bun. And then I'm going to go down. I'm just going to enable bird for now. Enable whatever you see fit, but I just want bird enabled. I'm going to hit no for Google Places. I'm not going to do Gemini. Do I want Gemini for this one? I can always do it down the road. So I'm just going to hit no. I just want to get this working, right? No, no. Don't need 11 labs. I'm going to check all 3 of these. And now it's going to install the gateway service. Now, in the meantime, while that's installing, you go over here to this chat. I probably should have waited to hit start. Now, this is going to give you your Telegram user ID and a pairing code. What you want to do, this is why I use Ghosty here, is not only for the Claude setup token, but also for this part. While this is working up top, go down here and type in Clawdbot, pairing, approve, Telegram, and then grab this pairing code, copy selected text, paste. I wonder how long it's going to say Clawdbot for. I wonder if we need to switch that to Moltbot. Let's see. Oh, I misspelled Telegram. And I'm curious, can I type in Moltbot instead of Clawdbot? Will it work? Not found. Okay. Voila, approved Telegram sender. So we know that's linked. We know that's working. Wonderful. Okay, let's go back up to the top. Now, you can open in the web UI. I personally, so far, what I've been doing is I hatch in the TUI, terminal user interface. And it looks like it's ready. Let's go to this loopback address, right? This is local. This is not exposed. Anytime you see that, that means loopback. That means local host. You give it that port, 18789, and you don't have to worry about people from the outside coming in, right? Let's see, it should, let's see what's going on. Interesting. Oh, I had to hit enter there. In the TUI here up top. So let's see if that doesn't bring things online for us. I'm going to close all these extra tabs. Close all these extra tabs. I'm just going to write test, see what's going on. Because onboarding was complete. Clawdbot doctor. Interesting. What is going on here? Did something happen to... says it's not configured. Interesting. And this is where we troubleshoot. I didn't run into this before. So I want to go to Moltbot, go to documentations. And I'm just going to try to paste in that error to see what's happening. Let's just, whoops. I'm just going to type in 1008. No, that's not going to work like that. Interesting. What's going on? I mean, it's connected to Claude. That's set. Anthropic model set, shows token usage. Huh. Let's try doing Clawdbot doctor to see what's going on here. Interesting. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So what did I need to do? Clawdbot update. Let's type in Clawdbot update here. Wonder if it's because I selected bun instead of npm, although I've done that countless times already and it works. Interesting. Now that we're waiting for that, let's see. Set it up again. Wrong version of Ubuntu. That's common. It's okay. GB, etc. What's GB? I don't know why that's going over my head right now. So you have the VM started, right? Or are you looking at this screen? Because once you set it up properly here and you hit new, you fill out all this information, you have these 4 sections here that you have to fill out, right? Create your user and password, specify hardware, specify virtual disk, and then you just hit finish. And then it finishes and it starts installing. Yeah, interesting. I set up Bun and have it working on another instance, but for some reason, it is not working on this one here. So I'm just going to kind of reset things up. I might go through the onboarding process one more time because I have a feeling that's the issue. But let's try to restart this. And I'm curious. You there? Nope. Interesting. Okay. Here's what we'll do. Let's set up everything from scratch. Not everything, but at least the onboarding. So I'm just going to open up a new Ghosty window. And we're going to split terminal down. All right. And I'm just going to type in Moltbot, Clawdbot onboard. And I can't spell. Okay. So we're going to go through the onboarding process one more time, but we're not going to pick preferences. Okay. Where's my mouse? Why is my mouse disappearing? Oh, shoot. You know what's funny? This wireless thing, it's solid, but I need to charge it. I believe it's at like 20%. Hopefully it doesn't die mid-session. Okay. So I want to reset everything. Full reset. Okay. Anthropic. We're going to go through this process again. Hit enter, hit enter. Okay, great. In this one here, we're going to hit Claude, setup, token. Then I'm going to open the browser. We're going to authorize. We're then going to grab this token here. We're going to paste that in there. Default name, keep current, pick Telegram. Let's go back to Telegram. You know what I might do? I'm going to create a new bot. I'm going to create a new bot. Muddy LLMO. Oh, new bot. Muddy LLMO. Okay, Muddy LLMO underscore bot. Okay, great. I'm going to grab this API. We're going to paste that in there. Hit next. And then in the meantime, I'm going to open up a new window here, and I'm going to wait to start for now. Configure skills, yes. Yes, NPM. I'm going to skip for now. No, 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 no. And you know what? Let's just do session memory. And then hit reinstall. You don't have to do that, right? Because I'm essentially, you know, overlapping. Now, before I hatch in TUI, I want to go down here. I want to hit start. Interesting. Hatch in TUI. Let's try again. Start. Invalid bear token request. What's going on here? I mean, we're clearly connected. Yeah, so for VirtualBox, the trick is when you have VirtualBox open, go up to the machine, I think it's view, and then scale. I think it's Command C. And then as you adjust the screen size of that VM, it'll scale accordingly. That's a little trick so that you don't have to go in and adjust the resolution, at least not at first. Okay, try this one more time. Start. Interesting. Interesting. It's the first time I've ran into this like this. HTTP 401 Telegram. I mean, it's possible. I don't think they would have terminated the OAuth. I mean, one quick thing I can do to rule that out. I mean, I'm already running Muddy Social, so let's just see if I can it's typing. It's taking a while. Connection error. Interesting. Very interesting. Because I have that set up with my other account. Is this something new that just happened? I want to search here. Claude, OAuth, Moltbot. Moltbot. Let's go latest. I don't see anyone posting about it yet. Moltbot OAuth. Oh, that's wild. Dang. Dang, he got a spike. Why are they shitting on him? Are they just against Moltbot? I'm like, now my other Moltbot isn't working, and I had that tied to, Let me get out of full screen here really quickly. And I'm gonna pause this state really quickly. I'm gonna X out of that demo. I'm gonna X out of there. Let me go open up that instance of Muddy Social that I had. And let me just make sure this works. Because this, I mean, obviously was working just fine. Did I shut it down on accident? It looks like I shut it down. Shoot. That's not good. Where's Ghosty? Oh, did I? Yeah, no, I set up Ghosty. Okay. Clawdbot gateway status. Yeah, I usually do. I usually end my live stream before his starts, so I watch his when it's dinner time for me, when I'm cooking dinner and stuff. I don't tune into all of them, right? It's just the scheduling and the time zone difference doesn't allow, but yeah. I've tuned in quite a bit. Ah, poor guy. I mean, I love the content he makes. I did notice a trend where he went through a few weeks of, he was chasing every new tool. And I didn't want to do that here on this channel. I don't want to just make a video on a new release until I test it personally. But I mean, kudos to him for putting in the effort to do that. Like, nobody else is doing it at that speed. So I love his content. I watch all of his videos for sure. I've gotten a lot of great ideas watching his content. So that's a bummer that he's getting shit on right now. All right. System enabled. Let me just open up Telegram here on my local machine. Clawdbot, Muddy Social. You live? I'm just gonna say, are you alive? Like, what's going on? What is going on here? Huh? I swear, if Claude disabled OAuth for this already, I'm going to be very upset. Another connection error. Huh. I mean, it's running. Our gateway's running, as we can see. Yeah, I noticed that too. There was 1 week in particular where he was like, Gemini 3 is the best, you know. I forget the terms he used. Yeah, some of it's clickbaity. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with his automation and his script generation, but it works. It gets the clicks, right? And then literally within like 48 hours, it was Opus 4.5, which, listen, Opus 4.5 is amazing, but like, try to not, I don't know, me personally, I would never take the approach of saying the same thing about one model and then saying the same thing about another model just a few days later. I really want to, like, you know, the first 100 videos on this channel, I'm really experimenting with different approaches and different ideas. But I think after 100 videos, I'll have a good grasp of what I want to focus on, what I want to niche down on, you know what I mean? And I'm still testing. I'm still going to do some random things from time to time. That's my goal, get to 100 and then reevaluate and niche down as far as I can. But for now, you know, I kind of go with where my energy takes me. What do I get most excited about? That's what I like to make content about, primarily, right? I mean, everything's working here. But there's a connection issue, clearly. What else could be causing this? Let me go try another bot. What's the port? 18789? Yeah, 18789. No, everything's interesting. This is odd for all of my bots to go down. Let me check the other one. Let me pause this state. I'm gonna close that out. Let me go open up that OG and see what is going on. Power on. Restoring state. Oops. Muddy, good night, human. Hey, Muddy. This might need a minute to reboot. It's interesting how it's kind of just stuck there. Should be able to run more than one at a time though. So let's, there it is. There it is. Oh, did I? There it is. Okay. Wow, this resolution's insane. What is going on here? Settings. That is wild. Yeah, it's taking the monitor's resolution. Even though I have it scaled down to allow you to see more on the screen. Keep changes. There we go. All right. We might need to restart the gateway. There is also an update, so let me run Clawdbot update. It's weird how it says I only have node 20.19. Okay. Sudo Clawdbot update. Let me Clawdbot update. Yeah, something odd is going on here. Wow. Why would it say that? Let me close out Ghosty altogether. Node V, okay, 24, okay, Clawdbot update. Sudo Clawdbot update. And then it goes detected node. Interesting. All right, let me just go through that one more time. Oops. Okay. It's already installed, yep. Okay. There's some weird bug going on where I try to update Clawdbot and, interesting, okay. I'll troubleshoot that a little bit later. I want to go back to our demo and get that working. I'm not stopping until we get it working. I'm not going to let it win. Let's go back to LLMO, power. Let me go to that chat, add to folder, Clawdbot. Okay. Gateway reconnected. No, that is definitely, that's got to be connected to Claude. And it's weird how all my bots are now offline. And I only have the pro sub. I feel like there might be something happening real time to where pro subs don't work with OAuth anymore. Is something really happening right now? Let's see. Search Claude OAuth, latest. Here's what I'll do to rule this out. Here's what I'll do to rule this out. Claude.ai. I think this is the best thing I can do. Clawdbot on board. Or let's close out of there. Clawdbot on board. This right here is going to rule out whether or not it's OAuth versus API. Update values, Anthropic. I'm going to give it an API key instead and see if we don't get a different result. But I am going to pull this off screen so I don't expose it. I guess I can always cancel it immediately after. Give me a second here. Oh, shoot. I have no video? I just went to check back comments and all that. And I noticed my battery. Let me go replace that real quick and I'll get to the comments. 1 second. All right, let's make sure that is, all right. It should be back. Oh, damn, I missed a lot of comments. That's my bad. Dude, when I run into an issue like this, I just want to fix it. Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay. Nice, nice. YouTube logo. What style is that? You know what? I originally had this like 2D version of it and I wanted to spice it up a bit. So I like Manus for certain use cases. Manus does a really great job at storyboards and cartoonizing images. So I gave it an image of me and I said, turn me into an avatar, a cartoon, right? For like my streaming logo. And I'll show you really quickly. This is like all the iterations. So where is it? YouTube 1. Where is it at? Okay. So first it was a blue background. I added the matrix, but you see how this is like super 2D. And I was like, let me spice it up a little bit. Pop that into Gemini, Nano Banana. Pro, actually, I think I paid for it. Yeah, I think I did set up an API. And I said, turn this into a 3D model, give it cinematic lighting. And that's all I said. And I said, keep everything else the same, right? Just turn the 2D cartoon into a 3D model and give it cinematic lighting. And that's how I essentially came up with the logo. Yeah, I love this. It's great. It's going to be weird when I cut the dreads. You know, whenever I do choose to cut them, I've had them for a while now. And I've, past few years, I've cut off a foot here, a foot there to where they're now really short. But, it's, I can't wait to have a nice, just shaved head, if I'm being honest with you, or like short hair. So I've been growing out my hair since 2016, I believe. So, but I didn't get the locks until 2019 or 2018. I can't remember. It was, I think, about 3 years into it. Hey, yeah, man. Thanks for showing the interest. Like, I wouldn't have been here if you didn't say, let's see it. So we're here. Looks like I'm having dinner late tonight and recording late tonight, and that's okay. That's okay by me. No, because I have to go cook, right? I don't have to. I could DoorDash, but I'm a big cooking guy. I love to cook. I love cooking my own food. I don't care how much money I'm worth in the future. I will always cook my own food. It's just what I enjoy to do. So, yeah. I have a personal brand that I started a while back, and it's mainly photography, but I'm leaning towards pivoting it into cooking type videos at some point. But Clear Mud is my main focus. This is my baby. This is where all my energy is right now. So, this is where I choose to be. All right. I know I'm getting off topic here. We got the camera back on. We got comments addressed. Thanks for everything. And let me grab an API here. I think it's platform.claude.ai, if I'm not mistaken. Or I guess claude.com. Yeah, platform.claude.com. I like it. I wonder if that domain's available. Almost looks like my internet's like slowing down. I'll show you my other, I can't really show you because that's full screen. But I'm trying to grab an API and it's not cooperating. It's just not loading. There it is. It's loading incredibly slow. Wow. So let me log in with team at. You know what? Go over here. Should be able to get to it here. Platform.claude.com. And pull that off screen really quickly. Yeah, I guess I haven't logged in a while. Let me go to our team account. Let me verify. So it's trying to load. This is how slow it is right now. It's weird. I don't think it's my internet. I mean, we're streaming fine, right? Like, it's weird. Okay. I understand that. This is why I never got into the food service industry. Because I know it's difficult. I know it's not easy. I know it would probably take the joy out of how much I enjoy to cook. So if I ever do start my own place, it's going to be, you know, a piece of property that I buy that has units on the top that I live out of, a restaurant retail store at the very floor of it. And I'm open 2 days a week. That's it. So I prep one day, open 2 days, close the rest of the week. That would be my ideal approach. It would be super niche, right? Man, this is taking. It's taking a while. Okay, there we go. So let me go into API keys. Let me create a new key and do default. And I'm just going to hit test because I'm going to delete this shortly after the test. All right. Let's paste that into a Google Keep because I didn't set up a clipboard. Oops. All right. Let's go back into that VM. Go to keep.google.com. I mean, you're welcome to copy this if you want. I'm deleting it right after this stream, so. All right, let's, oh, I did not copy that. Copy, paste, default, Telegram bot. So I'm gonna do new bot, modify settings, no. I'm gonna call LLMO. All right, we're gonna copy that API. I'm gonna paste that in there. I'm not gonna do homebrew, npm. We're gonna skip all for now. No, 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 and no, and no, and no. I just wanna get this thing working, so we're gonna skip everything for now. Let me open up that new chat. Skip for now. Might as well reinstall since we're going through a fresh onboarding process. And I'm gonna hit start in a moment once that's up. Okay, now it's up. Now I'm going to hit. I mean, it looks like it's running, so I'm going to hit start. Oh, and it's working. Hey, to me, it looks like that was a Google OAuth thing. I think Google OAuth, they might have terminated it. That might have literally just happened because all of my bots that were working are not working anymore. That's a bummer. I'm actually curious, since you have a max sub, if I'm not mistaken, test it. When you get all this set up, when you catch up to this point in time, test it to see. Maybe they just disabled OAuth for Pro, which I have, right? That's really going to detour me. I was about to upgrade to max for this so that multiple bots can run off of the same account, right? I'm going to be very upset if so. Like, that's going to be a huge bummer. Wow. So, I mean, look, we're working with an API. So what's interesting is I didn't have to set up a pairing code. Did you notice that? I didn't have to set up a pairing code. Interesting. You normally do. Huh. All right, whatever. You are a test bot. I'm live streaming right now. Check out my channel. Yeah, this is now just going to be a test altogether. I'm going to delete this VM. I just wanted to get this working for you. Check out my YouTube channel, Clearmud. Please download our previous live stream from last week and summarize and timestamp it using YT DLP. I'm just giving a quick task to see what it'll do. As you can see, it's typing back. Yeah, it's weird I didn't have to pair the Telegram account. Yeah, look at that. It found it from the 24th last week. So it's downloading now to summarize and timestamp. So it's literally just doing it autonomously. Normally you would see a lot of like confirmation steps, but it's doing it behind the scenes. I wonder if, yeah, I wonder. I really, really do. I'm sure this is about to be all over Twitter. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was something weird going on with OAuth where it just wasn't going to work temporarily. I really hope that's the case. I really hope in a few hours it starts working again. But as you can see, we got this working with an API key. What's interesting is it has a max of 200K tokens, but so that kind of like signals to me it's set up on, I didn't set a limitation for that account, did I? Where is that account? Where is that? There it is. There it is. Close. Let's refresh. Yeah, 73 cents used so far. So let me kind of show you the screen here. And with all my tests on hospitality LLMO, only $1.20. But yeah, 73 cents already. That's kind of wild. That's scary. We just got started. We haven't done anything yet. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's doing work. I'd like you to build a landing page for me. It should be a wait list for a new bot I'm creating called Moltbot. Check out Molt.bot. For inspiration. Set up local preview on this machine at localhost 3003. Okay. Let's see if it builds a landing page and let's see how much it costs. But hey, we got it working. So yeah, I don't know if any of those steps that we took were any different than when you ran into your errors. What's interesting is yesterday, I know it was working. It was working up until before we switched to this part of the live stream. If I'm not mistaken, at the end of us pushing Hospitality LLMO live, I went to my Muddy social and I talked to it and it responded, right? So it was working, I think, at about 6:30, and it's now 2 hours later, 8:30. So yeah. So it was working. OAuth was working literally 2 hours ago. But in the process of installing Ubuntu, doing this from scratch, setting it up, it's not working anymore. Which makes me believe that maybe they restrict, because they were already going down that path of like, you can't use OAuth for your Claude Code subscription if it's not in our tools, if it's not, you know, from our tools, right? There was already a big debacle about that, or like a big issue with that of them cutting that access not too long ago. I want to say it was a week, maybe two max. This is all recent. So I wonder with them, you know, telling them to change brands, maybe they disabled OAuth, maybe they just did it for Pro, maybe not Max, I'm not sure. I'm going to wait a day to see what happened, to see if anyone else is you know, running into this issue. But, oh yeah, I'm sure we can. And that's something I want to test personally before like I make videos about it. Maybe we'll do a raw live stream learning together. But yeah, that's something I do want to do for sure. I want to see real time, like what's going on here. Wow, look at that. It's already done. It's ready. And I'm sure actually if config, oh, come on. Sudo, I'm actually curious if this will work. Sudo apt install net tools. Muddy LLMO. Okay. I mean, in the meantime, I want to check it out. Localhost 3003. I mean, dude, are you kidding me? I didn't give it anything. It kind of gave me the sloppy colors, but it's decent. It is decent. It's workable. It links to our YouTube. I didn't even ask it for that. Links to our X. I didn't even ask it for that. I mean, come on. Definitely wouldn't launch it like this, but it spun that up so quick. How much did we use in token? I'm curious. Or is that? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Let's do a quick refresh. Okay. That took a few dollars. That took a few dollars. So, yeah. I mean, it's working. So, yeah, man, I hope this helped. I hope going through this process has really been helpful. I want to terminate this API key. We're actually just going to delete it because I already exposed it. And now I'm actually just a wee bit curious. Just a little curious here. Clawdbot onboard. Clawdbot onboard. Yes, I understand. Quick start. Update values. I want to see if for some reason this works now. Let's go here. Claude setup token. And we're going to keep everything else the same. Since we had it working, keep everything else the same. Let's go to this. Grab this. Copy. Paste. Allow. 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 Leave as is. Nope. Skip for now. And we're just going to restart the gateway service, right? That should be all it needs. Yeah, look at that. I have a feeling some issues with OAuth is going down, at least with the Pro. I'm not sure with the Max, but yeah, that's a bummer. Huh. Wow. I mean, all the more reason to use Kimi 2.5. Right? Isn't that free? It should be. So maybe what we do is we close out of here, Clawdbot onboard. Let me clear that. Understand, quick start, update values. I think this is Moonshot, right? Yeah, Moonshot. All right. Maybe later. Settings. Wait, if it's open source, why do I? That defeats the whole purpose of open source if you have to pay, right? Huh. Platform.kimi.com. Let's go back. Yeah, I mean, I could test OpenAPI. I have APIs for OpenAI, but it's like, I don't want to use that. I wanted our OAuth. Gemini key, anti-gravity OAuth. Oh, interesting. You can use anti-gravity OAuth? Let's try this because I do have a Google account and it should be free to use. I'm curious. Bam. Keep current model, 4.5. We're going to leave as is. No, skip, restart. Let's see here. I really have to clean up that Telegram. All right, I'm just going to ask it to build me a simple web-based calculator, deploy it to localhost 3004. Don't see anything happening here in the TUI, but like we did with the Claude API. But we are using a Google OAuth account right now, so let's see. Local host 3004, just getting ahead of it. It's typing, so it looks like it's doing its work, but let's see. Let's see. That's wild. It should only take, like, I've probably installed that 20 times over the past few days testing the best route. Usually about 10 to 12 minutes. I had one take 20 minutes though. But I think it was due to other variables. But that's wild. That's wild. Look at that. Hey, it works. So I used Google Auth and it works. So this works. There's just an issue with Claude OAuth right now. And I have a feeling Anthropic probably disabled it. It sounds like for Max Plan, but if try what we did today, see if you can't get it working on your Max Plan, because yesterday I know for a fact it was working. I was using it all day and we saw it working just about 2.5 hours ago. So, but all of a sudden it stopped working. We tested the API for Anthropic. It works. I wanted to test Kimi, which is open source, but you need to upgrade and pay, which defeats the purpose of open source. I'm sure there's a route of getting a certain model for free. I just wanted to be quick with it because I'm hungry. And then I discovered the Google OAuth option. Logged in with my Google OAuth account. Look at this. I asked it to build me a web-based calculator. And look what it does. Told it what port, and it built it out. It's a simple task, but it works. I mean, 7 times 8, 56. I mean, it's working. This is okay. Google might be my favorite. And I was able to still choose Claude Opus 4.5. So I need to figure out, like, I don't have an API for anti-gravity. I do have a Google API for Nano Banana. I need to figure out, does this pull from there? Or is this just from my, because I have a Google Workspace business account and it includes the Pro AI sub. So there's probably only X amount of tokens allowed, right? But yeah, works. So give that a try. Let me know what you think. I think it's time. I do have to end it, man. I'd love to keep going, but kitchen's calling my name. My stomach's growling. And I still, at this point though, I might have to record this video tomorrow morning until we have some clarity on Anthropic OAuth, because I'm at the point in the demo of the video where we're setting everything up. And if the setup doesn't work, I'm going to be very upset tonight. So I might just set it up with Google Auth. I'm not sure. I might just wait till people start experiencing this and posting on Twitter. I'm not sure. So, but that's a great place to end it. Woo, 3-hour stream. That's a long one. I like it. I like it. So thanks for hanging in there with me, DB. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the questions. I hope you get this running today. Let me know. Drop a comment. Reach out to me. Let me know that you got it working. Otherwise, I will see you Friday when I go live. And then tomorrow's video at this point is up in the air. It's either going to be configured with Anthropic or it's going to be configured with Google OAuth, since I know it works. So, but we got it working. We got it working live. It's building us random things. It was way too costly for that Anthropic API, so I had to terminate it. But hey, it's working. So yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Everybody else, if you're watching this recording or if you were watching this live, go check out hospitalityllmo.com. It's a tool that we soft launched during this live stream. I'm going to finish that demo. I'm going to start promoting it in the coming days into the weekend. And we're going to get a Clawdbot working specifically to promote that tool, monitor that tool, and manage that tool, essentially. So yeah, thanks again for being here. I will catch you guys on Friday. We'll go live right around the same time, right around 5 p.m. UTC, which I believe is 8 a.m. PST and 1 p.m. EST. Yeah, I wonder too. I'm going to look into that some more. Off air. But yeah, without a squirrel ado, have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you on Friday. Peace.